right, what's up, everyone, and welcome to THS's recap of Payback.
Woo!
My name is John. I am joined by Justin. Justin, hello, sir.
Hello. How are you? How's it going?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. We're glad to have you back, and we're also we just want to officially welcome you to the THS Wrestling family. Justin has been killing it with our Instagram guys.
Have you guys been enjoying it?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's great. We highly suggest everybody go check it out. And I'm also joined by Johnny. Johnny, hello, sir.
What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all.
How are you doing?
Good. It's been a rough week though, for real talk. Friday kind of sucked. Yeah, exactly. Wakanda forever. Just want to give respect and RIP to Chadwick. You know, he was a hero on the screen, but also off the screen as well. As
Absolutely.
we know, he passed away sadly after battling cancer for 4 years. But what was dope is the fact that, like, within those 4 years' time, he achieved like so much and put so much content out there for us, so much things like to inspire us and push us forward. So just thank him for that, because he's a true hero, and even his death, he continues to inspire us. So RIP and condolences to him and his family.
6 movies with Stage 3.
Yeah,
what a hero.
Amazing, man.
Yeah,
that is something else.
And I know it sounds really cliched, and a lot of people have been saying it, but to that point, like, we don't know what people are going through. You know, don't be hard on people. Don't give people a hard time.
Absolutely.
Everybody's going through something. Everybody is. Trust me. Might not be as big, might not be as small, but everybody's going through something. So just treat everybody with kindness and just have that awareness that, you know, you never know, that you actually never know, and you should just be kind at all times.
100%. 100%.
Exactly. Yep.
Matthew, what's going on, man? Hope you're having a good week. Aaron wants a shout out, Johnny.
What's up, Aaron?
He says he's a big fan. I love that. So before we get into, we're gonna get to Payback. Don't worry, guys. We have one thing we need to take care of today. I've been once again very tired, and I will tell you right now. Yes, you know, always very tired.
Would you do the remedy that?
I actually went on over to deathwishcoffee.com.
Oh my God!
Myself up some Death Wish coffee. It's the strongest coffee known to man and to other beings in the universe, I believe.
As a coffee fan, I need to try this out, man. I need a cup of coffee in the big time with
Dude,
Death Wish.
Let me tell you, this is no joke.
Yeah.
I you know, I'll just get like Folgers like every other you know, person on earth, and I went, oh, I got to try this Death Wish coffee, and I got it, and then I ran out of it and went back to Folgers, and I was like, my God, what have I done with my life?
You can't go back once you find it.
No.
I heard years ago Keith Lee used to be a regular man, but he drank Death Wish coffee, and that's when he became glorious.
We cannot confirm nor deny that, but yes,
that's when it became limitless.
There it is.
It's all that Death Wish coffee.
Absolutely. Exactly. So, guys, head on over to deathwishcoffee.com. Use the promo code #show for 10% off at checkout. And another reason I was tired this weekend is tired and then revived. I felt revived is because once again, Tetsuya Naito is a double champion. Look at him. He won in a baseball stadium. They gave him fireworks. He did the tranquilo pose with the fireworks. He's got the 2 belts. And I'm once again a happy man. This is how it should be. And that's all we're going to say about it, unless anybody else wants to praise Naito. I think
it's go ahead. You can go first, Johnny.
For sure. The only thing I wanted to say was when I saw this, one, I was excited about it. But 2, the fact that New Japan was able to pull this off was like, oh shit, I think we're going to get WrestleMania. Like, even though, like, even if the fact, like, again, like, you know, vaccine will be rolling out next year and things will be taking time and whatnot, it gives me the vibe that, like, if they can pull that off, then, like, WWE can literally take their model, just like they're taking the NBA's model right now, and figure out a way to do that. So we like, oh shit, we might get a live crowd at WrestleMania, and that could be dope as hell.
They started doing it at AEW this weekend. Or this week. This is the weird thing about right now is the Wednesday night wars are now like this Saturday and Thursday and Tuesday, and it's just like, I know the NBA is going on. I think are they still doing, or have they just been like, no, we're not going to do it anymore. We don't care anymore about. And I know, didn't somebody say they're boycotting the rest of the season? No.
Oh well, no, they started playing again yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But it's really cool negotiations came out because they're going to turn the arenas that aren't being used right now into voting stations.
Oh,
So
right.
that way that people can spread out, they can vote without having to worry about getting disease. They're also promoting people registering to vote and like doing a bunch of other cool initiatives. So they used it as a way to bargain with the owners and whatnot to get them more like active and engaged in social issues and everything. So props to them. They use their power and their ability to get some change going.
Absolutely. Okay, so 2 weeks of WWE special events, guys. First of all, how are we feeling? We had SummerSlam last week. We had Payback tonight. I was like, oh boy, there was so much other stuff I wanted to talk about tonight, but we're just going to solely focus on Payback, and maybe we'll get to the NXT Championship stuff at the end of the show. I'm a little burnt out, to be honest with you. How you guys feeling?
Same here. And going forward, we got AEW's pay-per-view this upcoming Saturday. Yep. Like, this train isn't stopping.
Nope.
We're still rolling. And also with the confusion, the fact that NXT and AEW technically haven't been on the same day for the past couple of weeks has spread out the week even more. Because usually it'd be like Wednesday, maybe have my Tuesdays and my Thursdays free, whether you watch Impact or not. That's the only thing that gives you Tuesday. But usually your Tuesdays and Thursdays are free. But, AEW's either been on a Saturday or a Thursday. This week NXT's on a Tuesday. It's just been weird. And to be honest, I actually have been really involved in watching the Canucks in the NHL playoffs. So my time has just been like thin.
I bet. Yeah, I hear that. Johnny, how you feeling?
Same. I wasn't watching the Canucks, but I've been watching the NBA playoffs, and everything's been going on, so that's been keeping me occupied. Shout out to LeBron and Lakers who are going to round 2 now. And then the thing about this was that literally I was scared because I saw them do the card for Clash of Champions, and the first card said September 20th. And I was like, are you serious? 3 weeks? And then they immediately pulled up the second one, was like, no, September 27th. I was like, thank God. Yeah. I was like, I'm not ready. For this to go that fast.
Oh, goodness.
Doing this one back to back was just like, oh, crap.
I'm like, were they just trying to smush all these pay-per-views while they had the Thunderdome? I was confused.
So Neeson brought up a good point. I was talking to him the other day. Shout out to Neeson, couldn't be here tonight, but I think he mentioned maybe one of these was supposed to be the Saudi shows. One of them, maybe. I mean,
they usually do one around this time, but usually around the September-ish fall time.
Yeah, so maybe they were just like, we'll just do a show in place of it.
Yeah, because I think this has actually happened before when we did have like a pay-per-view, and then a week later was a Saudi show.
Yes.
I feel like that's happened.
Yeah. Oh, that for sure has happened at least I think once or twice. So let's go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I gotta give credit though. It wasn't that bad. Like we were talking about beforehand, and Krasik pointed out, it wasn't that bad of a show. Like the cool thing about it is, even though we went back to back, I was not entirely disappointed by tonight. So I'm excited to talk about it.
And with a week to build it up, there was at least 3-4 matches on this card that I'm like, I really want to check them out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they just had 2 shows to build it up.
And I think they did a fine job with what they had.
Yeah.
And I guess that brings us to, and I want to know in chat what you guys thought. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest, 1 being the not greatest. How did you feel this pay-per-view went? I think I'm gonna go with a 7.5. Surprisingly, I thought it was a pretty good show overall. I think there was one match that I wasn't like a huge fan of, and that was just because of the pacing. But everything else, I had a good time with.
There's probably 2 matches I probably wasn't fully invested in, and I think it's just because I haven't been fully invested in the feuds generally. But I'm sure we'll talk about them. But yeah.
Yes. What do you think rating wise though? What do you go with that?
I'd give it like a solid 7.5 maybe.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I don't know, because SummerSlam was I don't know if it's because it's in the Thunderdome now and out of the Performance Center. I don't know if it's just with Roman and the returns and everything that's going on. But they both seem pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah. Johnny, what are you thinking? Ian's giving it a 6 or a 7. I think that's kind of general consensus here.
I mean, low key, thinking about the card, there's one match that I was kind of like, I could kind of do it out and we'll be talking about it. But everything else in the card, I was like, I kind of liked, and I liked the results a lot of what happened tonight too.
Yes.
And so that was the thing. Also, I like some of the people that got pushed tonight, which we're going to get talking to at a point. It was like some people got pushed very well, and it was their due as well to get pushed this way. So low key, I think I'm about to get tonight at 8 because like I pretty much love every match except for one, and we'll get to that one. But like I was like, damn, this is a good night, and the right people won, and like yeah. So all in all, it was a pretty decent night.
And 8, my goodness. All right, so I know everyone here didn't see the pre-show or the kickoff match between the Iconics and the Riot Squad, but guys, let me tell you, this match was great. These 4 ladies were out there just kicking the crap out of each other, and it was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. Justin, I think you caught it.
I did watch it. I actually really enjoyed it too. I enjoyed the story they told where they tried to build some tension between Ruby and Liv. They just got back together. They went through that whole phase of trying to repackage Liv and giving us vignettes and bringing her back with the whole Lana feud and everything. And then she's kind of been, lost in the shuffle since then.
Yeah.
And putting her back with Ruby has been great. They kind of had matching gear tonight. They had the cool jackets that stood out to me really quickly that was said, live to riot and riot to live. And I'm like, oh, that's clever. I'll dig it. I just listened to a Q&A between Bret Hart and Demolition talking about the match 20 years ago at SummerSlam. And someone asked them, like, oh, isn't it weird that most tag teams these days, they don't really do like the matching gear thing and the da-da-da-da, which I don't know how much I agree with that, but to see people actually do it always stands out to me. And the match was great. I enjoyed the match. And the right team went over. The promo after saying they're back together. It was all good.
And I mean, even like, I know a lot of teams don't have matching gear, but even I noticed halfway through the Mysterio's Rollins Murphy match that Murphy and Rollins have matching gear.
Yeah,
I know they were tag team champions, but I think this gear is a little newer. So I think they're just like, forget it. Let's just keep it rolling. I really enjoyed that a lot.
I also want to say, like, I do like how I think the WWE is taking notice. Like, once again, the Iconics don't lose anything from losing because if they win again tomorrow in Raw or something, it's like, oh, the Iconics won again. They're just great as who they are. But I think the WWE is finally noticing that Liv Morgan kind of has a following. Like, the fans are kind of behind her. Because Ruby worked the heat in this match, and Liv was the hot tag. And we wanted her to get tagged in. And I think they're picking up on that, like, oh, Liv's actually kind of popular with the fans on the internet or wherever else. Like, I don't know, like, she's kind of popular. Because I can't say the fans in the crowd because there technically aren't
They're
any.
not there,
Even the ones on the crowd are from the internet.
Right.
I'm really glad that they picked you up on that. Because when I was like, oh, Liv's a hot tag, like, I can, like, they're working Ruby and we're waiting. And I was even getting excited for Liv to get in. So, like, that's why I knew. So I was like, oh, this is great.
Nice. And
10 out of 10 in the chat. My goodness.
That's nice. And low-key, I gotta say, I agree with you because the dumb thing about it is, like, when they repackaged Liv, I was like, why? Like, Liv low-key works. Like, I loved her in NXT. I love with Corey Graves. Like, every time she would come, I was like, she's from New Jersey. And then sold in Jersey 10 different ways and shit like that, which was hilarious. But she actually had her character going for her. She just needed to get into a nice feud and, like, actually tell a story. So when they repackaged her, I was like, she didn't need repackaging. The gimmick's already working. She had the Jolly Rancher thing going, would come out with the blue tongue, and then all of her fans started doing it and everything like that. And then she even got endorsed by Jolly Rancher where they sent it to her for free. It's like, bruh, it was working. Just let her work. And so, so when I saw that match and get her night, I was like, oh shit, she looks like old Liv. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and remember she cut that one promo on SmackDown and had that one match with Charlotte and that old character before they repackaged her.
Yeah,
it's like, you guys could actually run with Liv in this character. Like, she already has this attitude. This is who she is. But they wanted her to be something that she's not. No. When she's basically reverted back to who she is, which is great because the fans love Liv for who she is.
Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely.
And I love her old music too, which we'll talk about later on because they need to leave people's music the fuck alone because they're fucking ruining it because they get good themes and then they take away good themes.
Inside scoop, which I'm sure you guys know, but this is an actual inside scoop for people that don't know. CFO does not work with the WWE anymore.
Right.
And there's a new guy in there. So I think they're allowing the new guy to make music for all the, and I'm not dogging the new guy, but a lot of the music does sound the same. It took me weeks to differentiate the music between Bayley and Seth Rollins. To now, I know the difference. But I miss CFO because all the great themes that came from them, the Shinsuke one, the Glorious one, Undisputed Era, Sasha's theme, like just so many great themes. I know we praised Jim Johnston till the end of the day, but CFO was an era of his
dude. CFO did great work, and
And the dumb thing about it is they made low key, like, I don't want to say like, but almost like Queen made like concert anthems, whatever that people sing along to. Almost every CFO thing was like that.
Yes.
From the Glorious to the Sami Zayn to the Shinsuke, like people would sing along with their entrance. It was like fucking glorious. Like I gotta admit, WWE made a mistake by letting them get away. I don't care how much money they wanted, you just keep throwing money at them. Because the dope thing about it was they could fit different styles. They're like, oh, you want a hip hop style? Boom, we got a hip hop track. You want some of the rock? Boom, you got this. But Shinsuke, you just want some crazy ass shit? We got you.
And I personally one of those. I personally one of those guys, and I know what went behind making some of those theme songs. And it's just like this new stuff. It's good. It's not horrible, but it does sound like WWE 2K generic creative wrestler theme.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, also the CFO did a freaking that 8-bit jam for TJP.
Oh, that was so good.
That was
so good.
Yeah, I love that.
And that new intro for like WWE, the new intro that plays before every show, the signature, like that's CFO. Like, I don't know.
They made a mistake.
I don't know. So let's get into the main show here. We opened Payback with Bobby Lashley taking on Apollo Crews for the WWE United States Championship. I thought this was a very good opener. I thought the right person won. We have a new United States champion. I absolutely love the Hurt Business. They're my favorite thing right now. And I love that they have, I mean, I don't want to say legitimate gold now because I don't want to, well, the 24/7, everybody has it. But I'm glad that Lashley is getting this mid-title push. And I'm interested to see where the Hurt Business goes from here. I'll throw it over to you, Justin. What do you think of our new United States champion?
I'm really glad. I'm not that I dislike Apollo or anything, but the Hurt Business it's a hot commodity right now. Like everything they're doing on Raw Underground, on Raw, like hooking the hooks throughout the show, like they're dope. And MVP's been killing it. Being Lashley's manager, bringing Shelton in, making Shelton having Shelton do something rather than just being around. And I think it's and when it was MVP versus Apollo, I was like, I really don't want MVP to win the U.S. title. I get it, but I'm like, he's not the person in this group that should be winning the title. He should be playing that manager advocate role. Bobby Lashley's the guy. Yep. I was down with Bobby Lashley maybe quickly beating Drew McIntyre a couple of months ago and McIntyre getting it back. Like I think Bobby deserves a big title like this, so I'm glad he's the U.S. champion. This doesn't mean the end of Apollo. We saw Apollo be a poor sport at the end of the match. He could have potentially joined the Hurt Business. He could potentially still feud with the Hurt Business. I don't know, but there's more to it, and I'm glad Lashley's the champion. He's like, if this was an actual group and MVP was the manager, I would say Lashley would probably be the front man. And then you'd have Shelton and whoever else comes in after, like kind of maybe the tag team behind him or something,
Yeah.
Ian doesn't like it.
Not at all.
Ian doesn't like it. Ian doesn't like MVP. So I think anything that MVP does, he does not enjoy. Johnny, how'd you feel about this opener? And I guess also, Justin mentioned Apollo being a poor sport at the end. We had two poor sports. Maybe they'll form a tag team, King Corbin and Apollo Crews here. But what do you think? Do you think maybe Apollo eventually joins the Hurt Business?
I don't know. I do think they're going to get like another member like at some point soon because we talked about like maybe Apollo, maybe Cedric Alexander, like joining up with them and everything like that. And then kind of like the classic said, do you put him with Shelton and they can run as a tag team and do some dope shit, which would be dope and it would also give Apollo a nice push because Apollo on his own right now, like it just ain't working and vibing. He doesn't know, like he still doesn't know how to talk with the mic or not. But I feel being around MVP would be dope. And then as far as this match goes, well, first off, dipset. Like it was on point, it was on fire. Like, first off, I love the promo the MVP cut. We was like, look, Apollo, last week you got lucky. Tonight you get Lashley. I was like, oh, look at that alliteration. Look at that alliteration right there.
Love it.
Goes out there, puts him to work, and then the whole time he's cutting the promo, Shadow just nodded his head. And low-key, like, looks like Shadow had a little Black Panther action figure in his pocket as well. So he's
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, all of them were doing the Wakanda Forever thing. You know, Apollo did his entrance. When they're taking the pictures, the three of them did it. It was dope. It was good stuff for sure.
Yep, even still put it out there. And then I love the fact that they won. And here's the thing I'm really excited about because I'm like, cool, you won. And like the class was saying, I would have loved if he had beat Drew McIntyre like a while back, and it would have worked. It was like, nice. This would have been a good push for Lashley. But guess what's coming up in 4 weeks? Clash of Champions. Clash of
Oh,
Champions. So we could see Drew McIntyre challenge Lashley again for both titles, and I'll be like, oh shit.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, but what if? Actually, I don't know. Because I'm like, I know something happened. We're gonna talk about it later in the show, but if Randy's gonna focus on Drew again, if that's what's going to happen when Drew comes back, he's gonna fight Randy. I'm okay with Keith Lee going after Lashley.
Oh, that could be dope too.
that would be interesting.
That could be dope too.
And MVP trying to recruit him, and it's just like a whole situation.
The only reason I like that, the only reason why I don't know, the only reason I don't know, like I just don't want them to lose right now. I want the Hurt Business to keep like winning and beating up people, and I feel like if they win against Keith will have to win right now. But you never know; they could figure out a way to book it right.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to our next match, which was Bill. Man, one thing was said during this match that makes logically no sense to me. It was Biggie versus Sheamus. I thought that this match was a little slow, but I got it from a storytelling point where Sheamus kept trying to slow Biggie down. One thing that bothered me on commentary was they said, Biggie has been in a tag team for the last 5 years, so this is all new territory for him. And then I went, Sheamus was in a tag team for the last 4 years. It was called The Bar. So
the thing that got me was when they're like, oh, Big E has been a tag team for so many years that, usually at this point when he's in this type of PRL, he could go in for a tag. And I'm like, I can probably go back and find so many single Big E matches in the past 4 to 5 years, even though he's been in this tag team.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of took me out of it a little bit. I'm like, that makes no sense. Just because Sheamus put a hat on doesn't mean that I forgot he was in the bar. Like, I remember that. It literally happened last year. He was still in the tag team. But besides that, I thought this was a good match, a good win for Big E. And him at the end just pumping himself up was some good stuff. Justin, how'd you feel about this match?
I once again, I said earlier on those two matches that I wasn't like really looking forward to because I think it might just be SmackDown because it was the two SmackDown lower mid-card matches that I was kind of like, oh, I forgot these were even on the card. But that being said, even though I wasn't looking forward to it, I did really enjoy this match. There was a point where I'm like, wow, this could have been like an intercontinental title feud back in like 2011, 12 or something. It was a good match, two big men going at it. I know what they're trying to do with Big E, so I kind of already knew which way I was gonna go.
Right.
But it was a great match, and like I said, little things did bother me too. I'm trying to make it seem like these guys have never had single matches before because they were in tag matches, and also making it seem like Sheamus was never just in a tag team himself. Other than that, there was a really good match. I can't say when we started this review that I remembered this match happened, but.
I mean, it was a good match.
It was a good match. And the right guy went over, and that I do love the stuff Biggie's doing on Talking Smack. I watched both weeks. He is trying to build himself. As much as he's saying, I want to do it my way, and I want to do it while I'm still part of the New Day, he technically is carving a new way for himself as he's doing that.
Absolutely.
And it's working. And I don't know what they're doing with Sheamus, because on SmackDown, we kind of saw him go babyface a little bit with Miz and Morrison. But now he's with, and there's been some weeks after his Jeff Hardy feud where it seems like he's going babyface. Then there's been some things where it seems like he's going as a heel. Yeah. And I don't know what direction he's actually going in. And as someone that is a fan of Sheamus, I hope they figure it out because I think there's stuff you can do with him.
Yeah. They just decided to put a hat on him, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, and they just continue to make him wear that silly outfit every time.
Oh, boy. Johnny, what'd you think of this match?
So here's I actually forgot about this match. I was thinking about another match I didn't like, which is why I gave it my original score of 8. Now that I remember this match, I'm like, oh shit, my score.
That's why I said there's two matches I wasn't too fond of.
Yeah, but I thought
this was one of them for sure for me.
And honestly, here's the thing: when it comes down to this match, it's not the fault of Big E. Big E is doing the Lord's work right here. He's cutting all the right promos. He's doing everything he can in the ring. He's like joking around the commentary. He's doing things in the back. He's to put a mic in his face. He's doing everything he can to get himself over. But I just think that honestly, they're just kind of booking him the wrong way. Because I like Sheamus, even though he's dressed like a big buff-ass newsie right now. But the thing about it is, though, is that, like, I don't think Sheamus is the right person for him to be feuding with. Because 100%. Sheamus isn't built to make him look good like that. Sheamus is dope in real life and in the ring. But the thing about it is, though, is that he's not built to make Big E look good. Like, I would have loved more if, like, Big E was going after Intercontinental Championship and AJ Styles still had it. Because AJ Styles knows how to make people look good. Like he knows how to sell, get your things across, make you look strong. And the problem is that Sheamus doesn't know how to really do that for Big E, and so it kind of goes into a problem.
And
there.
Sheamus has fluctuated in where he's been on the card so much because he's been there for so long. Where Big E going in a feud with AJ and being AJ, like AJ still comes off as a top guy no matter where he is.
Yep.
And that's what I think makes a big difference there. And I think like eventually you can kind of wean AJ off this Intercontinental title feud anyways, because I know he's a part of that with Sammy and Jeff Hardy. But I think we can go with just Jeff Hardy and Sammy and maybe have a AJ Big E feud going into Clash of Champions or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
That would be fun. Yeah. That would be cool.
And that would be way better because, again, like the right person won, but it's just not the right match. And that's part of the reason why his momentum has been building because he's not wrestling the right people. And so once they start doing that, you'll actually see the momentum build up and get going because you saw that. That's part of the reason why Kofi got over. When he did that gauntlet match, he was wrestling all the right people. And so when he was cutting those passion promos in the ring, one of those people was really AJ Styles. When AJ was like, "Y'all, man, just quit. It's all right, blah, blah." And Kofi gets up like, "No, man, been here for 13 years. And you cut that against AJ Styles, it resonates, and that's why the fans got behind him.
Kofi had AJ, he had Orton, he had Daniel Bryan. Like, he had everybody that he needed to get back at to make himself feel big. My question is, what is the timeline for Kofi and Xavier? Like, do we know exactly when they're coming back?
I think Xavier is maybe a month or two, and I feel like Kofi wasn't supposed to be that long, I feel.
Because my only thing is, I'm concerned that does this all just momentum die when they come back and they're just together again?
Well, maybe they just do the Xavier and Kofi are a tag team now, and they let Biggie do his thing.
Exactly. Okay. They're good at that because they showed that when Kofi won it. But my whole thing is too is that he's also not surrounding himself with the right people too, because it's weird because he had a tag match on Friday. Then it was like he was part of New Day again. He was with Otis and Tucker. And it was like, the fuck? Why are you with them? It's the same thing. It's being with New Day. And so So they're just not booking this right. To the classic point, like Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, like all these people, he needs to go against some of those type of people. Right now he's going against The Miz. While The Miz is cool, The Miz and John Morrison are a tag team with no belts. It's like, what is the point of you feuding with them? What are you going to get over? What are you going to get out of this?
Absolutely. Next match we had was King Corbin taking on Matt Riddle, young Matthew Riddle. I think it was really weird of them to bring up that tweet. I think they should have just not put that into the storyline because to me the allegations are serious in that, and it just kind of feels like,
was that what it was referring to?
Yes.
Oh shit, for real? They brought that up?
Oh, like, is this something that I missed on SmackDown that was said about families or something? But
no, it's about his infidelity.
So even if they did bring that up, the way this match played off was he won and then he was over it anyways. Might as well have just not brought it up at all.
Exactly. He just could have been mad that, King Corbin put out a hit on his life. I mean, I think that's good enough. But this match, I really liked it. I thought the way Corbin just kind of beat the shit out of him for the first 2 minutes was really cool. Like he just went after him. I did find it weird because I feel like they're pretty similar heights that they kept trying to put over Corbin's height advantage, but I don't really think it's that much. But I thought the match was pretty good. I think the right person won, even though I do love King Corbin and I want the best for him. But I thought overall this was a good match. Justin, what'd you think?
This was the other match I wasn't too fond of that I was just like, whatever. Matt Riddle, and this might be an unpopular opinion, Matt Riddle on the main roster has just not clicked for me at all. I don't know what it is, but it's just, I sometimes I even forget he's on SmackDown. I forgot this match was even a thing. I forgot there was even a hit on him. I don't know.
I mean, it feels like with a lot of the steam was taken out during the allegations that were going on, because it felt like he debuted and then he was, I think, gone for a week or two, and then he came back and it kind of, a stop and a start there.
Because he came up and he beat AJ.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was feuding Baron Corbin. And I was just, I don't know. It just, and I don't know, his promos aren't hitting with me. And this is something we can talk about. You guys have probably already talked about when you guys talked about, I don't know if you guys talked about this past week's Raw already, but like, guys, when they come from NXT and then they come to the main roster and they cut a promo and then they're just like, why do they not sound like themselves no more?
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why that is.
And similar situation. And that even goes for like, look who they're finally trying to fix Aleister Black after messing him up since the moment he came to the main roster.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
It's one of those situations. It's so like, that's me saying it's not Matt Riddle. It's just he doesn't feel important.
Mm-mm. This was the other match. This was the match that I was thinking of that I didn't like. Because honestly, this was the one match where I think the wrong person won. Because the thing about it is, was like going to this is like Matt Riddle's been consistently kind of winning on SmackDown, getting over on people. Kind of, we mentioned AJ Styles beating Shorty G and everything like that. But as he was doing this, I love what they were doing because it looked like they're always so trying to repackage Shorty G through this feud. And I was like, cool. If you're gonna do like King Corbin, kind of like make Shorty G like his Black Knight, and you go something like that and repackage him, give him a new gimmick or something like that, where he's like the first night or some shit like that or whatever, because then it gives him a whole new personality instead of being Shorty G, and you can kind of turn him into like the wrestling machine that we know he can be, almost like how Kurt Angle used to be. And so I figured that Shorty G would interfere in this match, help Corbin get the win, and then boom, this feud could kind of intensify, go to another level. But they didn't do that, and so now like Matt Riddle got the win. It's kind of like, well, I guess this is done, and that's it.
And to Danny's commentary, if they reverse the roles and they have, and I get the main feud Riddle versus Corbin, like I get that, but if they did the 5-minute match they had on SmackDown and that was Riddle and Corbin, and it was like ended for some reason, but they gave us like the good 10-minute match between Shorty G and Riddle on this card, might have just been a better match.
Yep, exactly. Because again, I think they would have more in-ring chemistry because again, they're both actual technical wrestlers. They're both
amateur background. They know how to do mixed martial arts stuff. You know,
yeah.
It could have been like Kurt Angle versus that guy we can't name ever again. Like when they used to have matches back in the day. Cough, Crispin Walker.
Because they had Shorty G versus Matt Riddle. It was like a 5-minute match.
I know. I saw the time on that match and I went, that is not right.
No, not at all. That was on SmackDown on Friday. I was disappointed by that because it's like, for real? It's Shorty G, dude. He's like he's an Olympian. Like he's a world, like he's won championships. Let them go and tell a good story. Like that's what that could have been.
If those two had a match tonight, I think I would have been way more into it. I would have been like, oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That would have been nuts for sure. He's still going by Shorty G, huh?
Yeah.
Oh God, why? It's so dumb.
It was funny.
You know what?
It wasn't ever funny to me, but even for them, I think it might have been funny for a week. I don't even know if it's funny to them anymore.
I hope he's in Retribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be...
Everybody that's lost a name is in Retribution. Alexander Rusev comes back. Antonio Cesaro.
Biggie Langston.
Mustafa Ali. We want our names back.
We're back. We're come back for our names.
Yeah.
And I will also say, what's up, Danny? Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well, sir. Here we are, gentlemen. The women's tag team title match.
Yay! Yay!
Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax taking on Bayley and Sasha Banks. We have new women's tag team champions. I thought this match, despite Baszler and Nia Jax not being a tag team, I thought they worked as well as they could together. That I don't know what that post-match promo was.
Yeah.
But I think to me, like the match, I was like, this was fun. It's another chapter in Bayley and Sasha. And then that post-match interview took the wind out of my sails, quite literally.
What was Nia doing?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'll say this though. Obviously, huge Sasha Banks fan, and I hate the fact that she's Sasha no belts again. I'm not a fan of this, but I know where it's heading. That's the only reason I'm okay with it, because I know it's supposed to head to Sasha and Bayley and we're supposed to get there, and I can't be one of those fans that can complain, because I was one of the people preaching months ago that I want the 2-women power trip, and they gave it to us. They gave us both women with all the belts, so I can't complain. I did hate the fact that, Sasha at SummerSlam lost the Raw Women's title in her first defense. Cringe. Why do they always have to do that to her? Hopefully when she wins the blue belt, she can hold it for at least 4 or 5 months. I mean, Bayley's almost going on a year now. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
But the other thing I want to say about this match is I actually really enjoyed the match. As much as Nia Jax and Shayna aren't a tag team, obviously WWE loves odd couples. How many odd couple tag team champions have we had in the past 5-6 years? They love it when two random people win the tag titles rather than actual tag teams. I don't know why, but they're a huge fan of that. So I already had a feeling this is the way to get the belts off Sasha and Bayley. I know Nia and Shayna are going to win. Shayna should have been a women's champion at WrestleMania. Yep. Shayna should have been Miss Money in the Bank. Yep. But if this is the way to redeem the killer, they did a good job because she pretty much tapped out the two top women that have been holding the division down for the past 6 months or longer. She
that
tapped
finish
both of them
was
out at the
great.
same time. Tremendous.
That was a great finish.
Nia was the weak link of the team, which is okay. Every team needs a little bit of a weaker link. You know, someone's got to play that part. But I think, once again, and it's not just me being the big Sasha fan that I am, I'm also going to give credit to Bayley, too. And I don't even really like Bayley. But those two girls made this match work, too, because, man, they were selling their asses off.
Absolutely.
Sasha looks like she almost kills herself 20 times a match because she's just so damn good.
Yeah. I need her to stop doing that because it's starting to it's making me.
I read a tweet that said that Sasha Banks and Kota Ibushi must have the same neck manufacturers.
Yeah, I agree.
Their necks seem to be indestructible.
Man, but yeah, I agree. This match was fantastic. The finish was really good, and then everything we got after the finish, besides the post match, was pretty good. Johnny, what'd you think?
Okay, so first off, I love the match. And here's the thing. I'm happy that it went down because I've been cheering for Shayna Baszler to get a respect for the longest fucking time.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler was a beast in NXT. And the thing about it is, those days, like, when we talk about most improved stars, she is one of the most improved stars in the company. She came in as MMA Fire and literally became a wrestler, where she knows how to do storytelling in the ring, where she knows how to sell, where she knows to pull off an incredible moveset. Like, she's a beast, and she deserves to get her shine. So the fact they've had her on the shelf this long has been a fucking travesty. So the fact that, kind of like the classic said, that it took this tag team like match right here to get her like shining in front of everybody, I'm happy it fucking happened. And the thing about it is, kind of like they said, Nia was the weak link here. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. Because Nia's already a champion. She's already had one of the championships before. She doesn't need this moment to shine. Shayna does. And so, one, I love the physicality of the match. I'm going back and forth. Again, Bayley and Sasha, like you guys said, did a great job selling. But again, I love how, again, Shayna tapped them both out at the same damn time.
Yeah, it was tremendous.
Yeah.
Like, I wear Bayley, I wear Gucci at the same damn time.
Yeah.
Tapped out Bayley and Sasha was fucking dope. And it just shows how much of a beast she is. Loved it. Thought it was great. I love the looks they were exchanging and like all the things like that. So we know what we're going to next with the Sasha Bayley feud that's about to explode. So that's going to be awesome. And then Nia Jax did after had me dying. I'm like, you act like you never won a belt.
Yeah, she was like, Mom, look at me. Mom, look at me.
At one point, she puts the belt in front of her and starts like humping it towards Corey Graves. I'm like,
it was so strange.
I didn't know what was. I'm with you, Pink. I didn't know what was going on. I just didn't get it. I was like, were they expecting her to talk? Is she doing this herself, or like, what's going on here?
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I was just dying laughing. I'm like, this is amazing. And then I love Shayna was trying to say something. She's like, oh, fuck. We're about to go back and celebrate. See you next time.
But that's the greatest thing about Shayna Baszler, too, is that Shayna Baszler doesn't need to be a character. Shayna Baszler is who she is. Yeah. And she's already a badass. Yeah. It was just her booking that didn't make her a badass. But once again, no, obviously they flawed with WrestleMania, they flawed with Money in the Bank. But the fact that she tapped out Sasha and Bayley, the two women that were running this division for the past 6 months, had all the belts at the same time, says a lot. And then at the same time, there's that little bit of, and this is like Mega Powers exploding build-up they've been doing with Sasha and Bayley, where it's the subtle looks and it's the subtle things. Bayley was the one that tapped out in this match. Bayley technically lost Sasha the tag titles.
Yeah.
Sasha could have tapped and they wouldn't have lost. It was on Bayley. Everything's on Bayley and it's going to come back. There's a couple of moments I loved in this match. I loved the frog splash and the Bayley belly happening at the same time.
Yes.
I loved Shayna doing the running knees while Niles doing the big splashes at the same time. Like like I said, the match itself was really good. Obviously, I'm a huge Sasha fan, and most of the time I'd be really disappointed that she lost, but I know where they're heading. I'm also just a little concerned. I don't want Sasha and Bayley at Clash of Champions. So we just got to get past one more pay-per-view, maybe Survivor Series, because that's a bigger event, and let's tear it up. You know,
I assume they'll want their rematch.
Yeah, hopefully.
And hopefully they don't do it tomorrow, because then that would be... And it's so weird because is this the longest story that WWE's told in like...
I mean,
a
it
long
has to
time?
be because technically we've been waiting for this to happen since like 2017. Like
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
when
I
they
mean-
were beefing in the Mae Young Battle Royal, when they were fighting in the back locker room, went to therapy, then they got back together to win the tag belts. Like if we're looking that far back, then yeah.
The only one-
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing I think, like, I can't think of anything that's gone this long before, except for the Owen and Bret Hart feud. Well, that was like doing multiple pay-per-views, their storyline, which was dope. But yeah, I can't think of anything else that's gone this long before. So yeah,
I mean, Rollins and Mysterio is going pretty long. We'll get there
Oh
in a
my
minute
God.
here, but
Sheamus, no, the Bar versus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins that was on like 6 pay-per-views in a row, and every
Yeah.
other Raw.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
Bar versus each other, which is like, what was it, like best of 30 matches or some shit?
And then they became a tag team.
Do you remember when that happened? And I was like, this is good. I think this is going to be pretty good. And then it ended in a tie, and I went, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
But then
have
they
to-
became a great tag
A
team.
hell of a tag team. We have to agree though that like the Shayna Nia tag team title run's not gonna last long though. Like,
No,
But is it just gonna be like a misstep on them? Because they could really
I almost think you're gonna get the way that we talked about that first match with the Riot Squad. I think at some point we might get a Riot Squad versus Nia and Shayna, and Nia's gonna cost it for them, and then Shayna's gonna try to break Nia's arm.
yeah, and only that, I agree. And then only that, it was like, I love it because you have Shayna and Nia win, who are two Raw superstars. And again, we have the most women's tag teams on Raw. We have the Riot Squad and we have the Iconics. It's like, cool, you'll go there. And now Shayna Baszler's done this. She's going to want to go after Asuka immediately. And so they're going to drop those belts pretty quickly to somebody while she tries to go after Asuka to get that belt.
Yeah,
so
'cause that's what you want. You want Shayna Asuka. Let me throw one more thing out there that might be just an idea, because we do have Clash of Champions, and there has been this whole rumor mill, and we've actually seen it on a few of the SmackDowns. And I've been saying the one thing that's been hurting because of this whole Sasha Bayley run is that yes, things have been happening on Raw for some reason. Like they've been really good at still making things happen on Raw.
right.
But the SmackDown feuds haven't been that great. We had like a Lacey Naomi thing. Obviously, there's Mandy and Sonya, which is its own separate, fully thing that I don't even think when it comes to title. But when it comes to the rest of SmackDown Women's roster, I'm like, it's been hurting. And we've been hearing, and there was a movement for a few days that Naomi's going to get a push. Does Naomi face Bayley at Clash of Champions and Sasha cost Bayley a title that Sasha and Bayley doesn't end up being for a championship?
I like that actually, because I think that gives it a little more weight. But then wouldn't that make? I think you want to make Sasha the face here, and I feel like if she turns on Bayley, then maybe that does. I don't know.
Because then the other thing that we have to take in consideration is, I think in October, maybe November, I don't remember, there is going to be another draft.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Yes, so they need to get it. They need to do it before.
Yeah, and the thing was, I like that idea, but the only reason why, like, I'm not jumping at joy for it, because from a storytelling standpoint, it makes perfect sense. The only reason why I kind of want to be for a belt is kind of like we talked about before. Sasha never gets a proper belt.
No, and I want that too. Trust me, I want that one.
We all do.
Like,
we all.
But I'm also like, she can beat Bayley in a really good match, and then don't get me wrong, selfishly, I want Sasha to beat Bayley when they have this match. And I also want Sasha to beat Bayley because I'm like, the last really good match they had was at that TakeOver, and Bayley won.
Exactly.
Let's give Sasha the win this time around. And then now, somewhere down the road, we can have another Sasha Bayley match that we're going to be like, oh, this is the rubber match. But when it happens, I want Sasha to beat Bayley. Then I just want them to move on. Whether they get drafted on different shows or something. And then Sasha goes and wins the belt.
They did that with Sammy and Kevin Owens. They had a match, and then I think 2 weeks later was the draft, and then that was the end of it.
And that's the best way to end it. And then, Sasha goes after Naomi then. Bayley figures out herself on Raw, and then maybe one day, another draft or two down the road, they get back together and we get a third one, and we'll see where they're at.
Or low key, you could also put Sasha on Raw, which would be dope for her, and then Sasha goes after the winner of that Asuka Shayna Baszler feud, and then she's a face.
I just really want her with that blue belt now. I'm sick of this title.
That's I think end game for Sasha at this moment is
being
the SmackDown champion, because that's
and just having a long reign with the SmackDown title. She's a 5-time Raw Women's Champion. I don't. Alexa's held every one of the belts. Charlotte's held every one of the belts besides the tag titles. Let Sasha hold every one of the belts. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, let's move on to This match shocked me. It was Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. This match was barely 7 minutes, and Keith Lee beat Randy Orton clean with no help. He just beat him on his own. And I'm going to just say it right now. Randy Orton's the man. I love it. I'm just like, what a turnaround I've done on him in the last like year or two. I am just like very into everything he has been doing in WWE right now. But this match was pretty quick. It showcased Keith Lee to a different audience a little bit. And I mean, the way when it happened, I went, that's how it should be done. That's how it should be done. And I think I don't know. I was just very like, yes, great, perfect. Didn't have to be any longer. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Randy losing 2 event matches in a row is nuts. But this doesn't hurt him at all because he's Randy Orton. And that's where he is at this point. He's in that John Cena realm where
I think I always compare it to this. Randy Orton is. Do you remember when Shawn Michaels came back from 2002 to 2010?
Yeah.
He could win, he could lose. It didn't matter. He was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Randy Orton could win, and Shawn Michaels never needed to win a title that entire run. He was always Shawn Michaels. And I think it comes to a point where when someone's been there for so long or they've already kind of hit that legend status, you can win, you can lose, and it doesn't hurt you. The thing that I think it's hard for our generation of people is like we talk about Shawn Michaels, we talk about Bret Hart, we talk about Undertaker, Macho Man. Like those are the people we grew up watching, so it's easier for us to think that. But Randy's been around for nearly 20 years. He's hit that legendary status. To a whole generation of kids, Randy Orton's a legend. Yeah. He is their Shawn Michaels. We don't see it that way because we're teenagers and adults, and Randy was the legend killer and stuff. And we're like, oh, it's Randy. But it's like, yo, he's at that realm. And I want to say this, and I want Johnny to give his opinion on the match, but I just want to say the other thing I really love about Randy being in that realm is more so than John Cena, and I feel like John Cena started maybe doing it in like 2013, but Randy since like 2011 was like okay to drop the title to anybody.
Yeah.
Knowing like he dropped it to Mark Henry, he'd feud with, he dropped it to Jinder. He's working with guys, he worked with Bray Wyatt, he's working with everybody and trying to make them look good on a full-time schedule for the longest time. And I've been a Randy fan since 2002. Like I've never stopped being a Randy fan. I do agree. Yes, he gets stale as a babyface sometimes.
Yes,
I'm not going to disagree with that. I'll say that like he does get stale as a babyface sometimes. He's on the other brand. When he was on SmackDown, they'd be like, yeah, he wasn't the greatest. But I was always a fan. I always enjoyed his matches. I always wanted his merch. I want to look like the dude. I'm like, this guy's the man. And he's still the man. And I just think he's one of those guys that he knows how to do business. He's there for business, man. He knows how to work with the young guys, put them over, and he does it the right way. He looked shocked when he lost. He looked pissed, but it wasn't like he knew he lost. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. We actually haven't spoken about. I'll pull up Keith Lee here.
Let me say one more thing. Then while we're at it, I do say his gear's been better.
I don't get this, man. Like,
his gear?
This is better than it was on Monday.
The shorts are better because it doesn't look like a skirt. That's amazing.
Yeah. I get it, but also it's. We've got Otis running around in a Speedo. Why can't we have Keith Lee just wear his regular gear?
Yeah,
it's weird. I guess in some form I get it, but at the same time they just kind of contradict themselves with their decisions with other people. Yeah. And the music, ugh.
And whoever's writing his goddamn promos, because even the promo with JBL, the first JBL, you and your limo and the Longhorns, I'm like,
nope.
That was so.
Who are you? Are you a fan? Like
cringe.
That was so strange. But overall, I think the match did what it was supposed to do. Johnny, how did you feel about it?
Be honest. For a long time, thought Randy Orton was an asshole.
Oh, see, I never felt that.
And see, but the reason why is because of the shit that went on behind the scenes. The things he did, like behind the scenes, the stories that came out, and then he would get in trouble, but immediately come back. And it's because, again, it was like, oh, he's a privilege, he's a chosen. You're going to just spend it for 30 days. Motherfucker comes back 3 days later and blah, blah, blah. But the thing about it is that I got to give respect because within the last 4 years, Randy Orton has evolved and changed. The thing about it is, though, is that when it comes down to it, like I remember him like doing an amazing match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam a few years ago, where he really got over his like the RKO and it was trending and all this stuff like that. And then in addition to that, though, then like later on, when he has a feud with like Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon gets like hurt for a second, he like goes over to his son and was like, "Your dad's okay, your dad's okay." It's like, holy shit, this motherfucker's like grown as a person and everything like that. And then when Kofi has Kofi Mania going on, he immediately goes to this feud with Kofi, kind of redoes like what he did in the past to get Kofi even more over and rehashes this feud and everything like that to get it like back Kofi to that next level.
You
and
think
now,
he's on his road of redemption is what's going on?
it's low key in a way. And then what does he do like on Friday Night SmackDown? On Friday Night SmackDown, newcomer Keith Lee comes over, and this son of a bitch sells like I've never seen someone sell before. He's like, oh my God, he's so strong. Like Keith Lee catches his face like, oh, he's taking me to the floor. I'm like, this motherfucker is getting Keith Lee over right now. And it's like Randy's making up for all the shit he did in the past. Because as much as like Drew McIntyre cut that promo, was like, who have you pulled up? Randy is doing it now, and he's done it in moments. And now again, it's like everything's coming to fruition. Because to your point, Randy can win or lose, and it doesn't matter. But who he wins or loses to does matter, because that sets up the next generation. And so tonight, he helped set up this next generation with Keith Lee. So I have to give all kudos respect to Randy Orton. And then not only that, though, but the stuff he's doing outside the ring by tweeting like all lives matter, some bullshit, Black Lives Matter, get your stuff together. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's getting political too.
Was it 2016 that he fought Brock at SummerSlam?
Was it 16 or I think it was 17?
I think it was
right?
16. It was 16, right? Because the draft happened and they were drafted on different shows originally, I think. Randy on SmackDown, and because I always said when Orton came back on that highlight reel with Jericho when he was gonna face Brock,
2016.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it, I'm like, and I remember saying this to Devin and I was like, yo, my buddy that I do the TWC show with, I'm like, Orton came back and now it just seems like Orton's here to have fun, and he just wants to wrestle guys. He wants to work with Styles. He wants to work with Kofi. He wants to work with Bray. Let me work with Jinder. Let me work with this guy, and they're allowing him to do what he wants to do, and he's putting people over. And it's so cool, like, you know, like, and it seems like he's having fun doing it. We heard a couple of weeks ago the rumors going around that Randy was pitching to Vince and Triple H was like, yo, I want to work with NXT guys. Triple H even addressed it on one of the conference calls. Like, someone's like, oh, Randy said he want to work with NXT guys. Like, what's the deal with that? And Triple H is like, we'll see what happens. And now here we have him work with Keith Lee, who was literally just an NXT guy, and he's putting him over and he's making him look good. He wants new opponents. He wants to work with new people. He just wants to. It almost seems like he's at the part of his career where he started off and he was a kid and he was making mistakes. And at the time he was doing dumb stuff, I was a teenager and I found it relatable and I was doing dumb stuff. So like I related to it. And then he went through his mid-20s phase, which I was going through at one point. So like I always felt like I related to him, but now I feel like he's at the stage where he's just having fun. And I'm with it. You know?
Absolutely.
Or that, but he's also building the future up too, which is like I agree with the comparison to Shawn Michaels, but also want to compare him like Loki to Triple H, where he's like looking forward to the future. He understands his business, because whereas John Cena like leaves kind of like The Rock, but he comes back though, you know his heart is in it. But John Cena just has a lot of these other opportunities. But Randy's that guy's like, no, I am a star here.
He's a wrestler. He wants to stay a wrestler. He's not trying to be a movie star or anything.
Exactly. I'm going to build this industry up to make sure this is like one of the best top industries, and that's what he's doing right now. And it's so dope for him to see. And I know it's weird for us to do like Keith Lee won this match for us to be praising Randy, but again, it's because of what Randy's doing to get these guys over.
That's a crazy comparison too, because like if Cena's The Rock, then Randy Orton could be the Triple H. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Cena's the Hogan, then Randy Orton is the Macho Man. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
And again, I give credit to Keith Lee because I love the gear he actually did come out to tonight, because I'm still trying to figure out what it was. But I was like, I think that motherfucker was Broadly from Dragon Ball, which I was like, that's what's up.
I think he was too, yeah.
Yeah, which I was like, that's dope. But again, talking about the stuff that Vince has done, Vince has got to kind of like let go in a way. And when these NXT guys come up, he has to look at what worked for them in NXT and just keep some of those things going instead of trying to change it for the main roster. Because if it got them over there, a lot of those things are going to translate. So like Keith Lee's theme song, changing it made no gosh damn sense, and it's terrible. I know Keith Lee changed to that tweet out saying, I'll handle it. I'll get there. And I was like, you better do it soon, because right now the one you got is trash.
Well, sometimes it's not even just a theme song and stuff. Look what they did with Aleister. They brought him up and they just teamed with Ricochet. Like, that made sense.
Yep, and had him do flips and shit like that. Like, he's an acrobat. It's like, he can do a flip, but he's not a flippy guy like that. So, like, that was rare. And then also, like, Keith Lee with the gear as well. Like, his gear on Friday looked terrible. But so I'm happy they changed it up tonight. But, like, they've got to, like, let Keith Lee lean into his strengths, because he's going to get himself over. Like, when he comes to his promos, I low-key compare him to someone like The Rock, and that's just really high praise. But when I say that, I mean he doesn't need someone to write anything for him. You tell him what you want him to get across, and he will cut it in a natural way that will connect with the audience. When you write shit for him, it's going to come out cringeworthy, and that's what we've seen these past couple nights.
All right, so up next we had Los Mysterios taking on Seth Rollins and Murphy in a tag team match. I'm first of all really glad Dominic lost the hood.
100%.
I think that improved the gear immensely.
He kept messing with it.
Yes, I thought he looked very good in this match as well. I thought just overall, I know. Did Ray resign or is he still working with No Deal?
I think he's working with No Deal.
I want these guys to go after the tag titles.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think that'd be so fun. It'd be fun.
It would be. Cool. It'd be cool for them too, as father and son. Would they be the first father and son tag team champions?
That's what I was just thinking too. Would they? Like,
no, I don't think so.
What father son tag team champions has there ever been?
I don't know. I'll check. But
Vince and Shay never won it.
No, they haven't. I'm trying to father and son team ups. Oh boy, that's for another day. I think that's for another day.
Right.
But I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I kind of just want this to keep going because I'm having so much fun with it. Mysterio's get the win. Dominic wins with the frog splash. And I guess my question to you, Justin, is what do you think of Dominic so far in the ring? And then what did you think of the match in general?
Dominic's impressed me. He's good. This is the thing, I hate doing this because like I've never wrestled, I've never laced my boots and been in the ring. But from a fan's perspective, like his pacing was a little off sometimes, but other than that, and you can kind of see the other guys that have been doing this for a while, the Buddy Murphys and the Seth Rollins, setting themselves up properly so Dominic doesn't look bad, which is what you're supposed to do. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a little bit more evident in these matches. Like you can see, if Murphy's laying on the rope waiting for a 6-9, he knows like maybe he should sit up a little bit because Dominic might miss him if he's too low or something. Like they're protecting him, which is a good thing. What blows my mind even more, to be honest, though, is how good Rey Mysterio still is.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget like how long he's been around and his age, and the age shouldn't be a thing, but like what he can still do at his age, like the acrobatic stuff. Like I know he's toned it down a bit, those things he doesn't do that much, but the speed he still has, the agility he still has, the way he can fly around. I'm like, I wasn't the biggest. I was a big Rey Mysterio fan in WCW. I wasn't a huge fan when he first came into the WWE in 2002-ish and stuff, but I don't like. He has to be like one of the greatest of all times, right? Like,
Mysterio, hands down.
He's like, I'm watching this guy. And I'm like, yo, like your son's killing you, but man, the fact that your dad can still go like this, like I do, like that's nuts. Against guys like Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, like these young bucks.
Yeah, man.
No pun intended, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think he looks very impressive. I thought the match was pretty good. And I guess tomorrow we're getting Mysterio versus Rollins on one-on-one. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins.
It seems like Rollins is heading out at this point.
Oh, you think he? What do you think he's taking a leave of absence here?
I think he is.
Becky's like 6 months in now, so yeah, final 3 months.
All right, maybe he's going to take a leave here. My actual question to you, Johnny, was going to be: do you think Dominic Mysterio turns on Rey Mysterio tomorrow night?
That I'm not sure about because again, now we just brought the fact that Seth was leaving because I thought so originally, but I just remember like, oh yeah, he's got to go be a dad because I was thinking about that today. It's like, how the hell did this feud start? Oh, it all started when Wade went up to him and said, "Congratulations on being a father."
Yeah,
shit crazy, and so
he turned to a Messiah.
Exactly. I'm like, damn, all from one compliment, 5 months of feuding. But yeah, like, so I think tomorrow this will kind of end it, and then Murphy will be left standing there, and then Seth will try to take some time off to go do his thing. But I will say too, I had the exact same thought of tonight because I was looking at Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. I was like, gosh, damn, you guys are both like in your 40s or up there, and yet you're still going strong. And it's dope to see how you guys are building up the next generation right now. And low-key, I kind of like compared to LeBron James as technology and like medicine has gotten better and we know how to take care of people's bodies, like what you should be eating now. All these guys has up so much more longevity in their careers that it's a really good time to be a wrestling fan to see all these people like still around and still have able to go. But yeah, as far as the match goes, I thought it was a pretty damn good match. Like you said, they were taking care of Dominic, make sure he looked strong. Ray did a great job. The right people finally won because Mysterio's been getting shit kicked out of for weeks. And when it was all said and done, I was like, dope. But I do have one question though. And this is actually a question the Classic posed. on his Instagram. Was like, who do you think had the better debut, Dominic or Pat McAfee?
I think I'd go with Pat McAfee because he doesn't have a wrestling background.
I did see you post that, and I think it was McAfee.
I think so too. I think McAfee had the better debut as well.
I think I had some sort of expectation that Dominic could wrestle because he's been training and like he's Ray's son. With Pat, I'm like, this could go any which way because celebrities have come and just completely sucked, and some have come and been really good. And the other thing that Pat did which I wasn't expecting, is Pat, and I've said this so many times on the TWC show, I'm like, Pat didn't come in here and play wrestler. He just was one. His promos, like his everything. He didn't come in and play wrestler, and he also didn't come in and just pretend he wasn't a wrestler. He was just a celebrity. Like he got himself immersed in the bubble and was a wrestler.
But
I want to piggyback on two things that you said, Johnny. One, the other thing that, like you said, you compared Randy and Ray being around for so long, and it's like Ray even has like 10 years on Randy that he's been doing this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like that's crazy. And then the second thing I want to say that I want to piggyback off you on was the whole how this all started with Ray congratulating him on being a father. And I don't think WWE's going to remember that or they're going to think that deep, but I think it's so cool that you brought that up because Seth could like literally turn babyface and leave by being like, I just wrestled the man and his son for the past 6 months. And now I know what it means to be a father and I need to get out of here.
And he takes the glove off.
He's like, I want to be like you are with your son. This was amazing.
Leaves the glove in the middle of the ring like the Undertaker.
Buddy Murphy slowly just puts it on.
Dude, Buddy Murphy getting the push to do that? Oh, Buddy Murphy's the man. Buddy Murphy is the man.
Because the look that Buddy was standing there and Seth was just walking off, I'm like, Seth must be leaving. I didn't know they booked a match for tomorrow night, but I'm like, he must be leaving eventually. But the whole thing that I forgot that the feud started that way. Like, I forgot myself. But if you look at it, he literally feuded a guy and his son this entire time. He was learning how to become a father. He's coming to terms with it. His own weird way.
Holy shit, yeah, damn. I don't even know
that's crazy.
They did this. They even realized that they just told this whole like cathartic, like becoming a father storyline.
That's great. That's great.
So, and by the way, I do want to say this. One thing I was watching as I was watching this match, I was like, Rey Mysterio's a good fucking dad. Because he gave his son a shot in WWE, but they cut no corners. He's like, look, if you want to be a wrestler, you're going to come in here, but they're going to beat the shit out of you for like 6 weeks. And so his son got his ass beat by Brock Lesnar, then he gets beat by kendo sticks, then he gets tossed around by like everybody fucking else. And it's like Dominic is earning his chops right now.
It's paying his dues.
He's had an easy go of it. Like he is earning being around, becoming a potential WWE superstar.
Absolutely. All right, guys, main event time, a triple threat match, kind of no holds barred for the WWE Universal Championship. It was the Fiend Bray Wyatt defending against Braun Strowman and the big dog, Roman Reigns. The big homie Rome, hashtag the big homie Rome, as we call him now on the show. I mean, I'm happy that Roman is the Universal Champion, and that's really all I can take away from the ring broke, and I went, all right, like that. I'm like, oh, it was eventually going to happen in this closed set, and I guess we're just using it on here. I also thought it was kind of weird that we had, I'll just bring it up now. We had Alexa Bliss just kind of watching from this backstage area. I guess basically as a, hey, remember we're still doing this. Overall,
I don't see it like that. There's something going on there.
What is this a Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, she's the Harley Quinn to the Fiend's Joker. Yep. I tweeted that out. That's what should. And I know that Alexa Bliss is one of those people on social media that shows that she loves Disney, she loves Harley Quinn, she loves this stuff. She's living out her dream right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I just I would like to know what the pigtails kind of give it away a little bit.
Yeah.
Huh? I'm interested. I just didn't like that nothing happened during their singles match with that. It just kind of felt like where is this storyline that she's in every promo that they're doing. She's a big part of it.
I felt the same way. I was confused with the Alexa thing since the beginning. She shows up in the ring with Bray some magical way somehow. Was supposed to pretend that she was with him all week. Braun just says he doesn't care about her out of nowhere. And
I don't give a damn.
Is this all pointless?
Like,
what was the point of kidnapping her? This guy doesn't even care. But then we saw Braun lose his mind, and then everything's slowly starting to make sense. And we were just talking about this earlier on. Like, there's not as many feuds that really slow burn and go for that long. Let it slow burn. One of the things I love about AEW is, like, we've been seeing Adam Page eventually try to leave the Elite since the beginning of Dynamite in October last year. Let it slow burn. Let's see what happens. Sometimes, some weeks, things don't need to happen. Some weeks they do. Some weeks the NWO never showed up, and then some weeks they just came and caused chaos. Okay?
That's true. That's very true.
We just also got spoiled by the WWE to the point where now we want this instant gratification. We expect something to happen on every show. But I'm like, when I was a kid, sometimes I'd tune into WCW, and the main event would be like Ric Flair versus the Taskmaster. I don't know where Holland and Hogan guys were, but
Aaron brings up a good point. I think anything they had done with Alexa would have taken away from Roman's return.
Yeah. And I'm also okay with Roman winning because, let's be honest, the whole game plan originally before this whole pandemic started was Roman beats Goldberg, and then we were going to probably go with Roman versus The Fiend. All we did was corrected it wrong, and we're rebooting it from now.
Yep.
Perfect. Love it.
The Fiend having a 1 month reign, I don't care about that either. It's okay.
No, yeah. I knew, when he came out with not his belt, it was like, all right, well, we know where this is going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Johnny, what'd you think?
Well, first off, for any superstar out there that wants to be a star, is tired of the managers being all up in their matches, dancing in the videos, start with Paul Heyman, because that's what Roman did, because he's the thuggest, ruggest Rome. He's the thuggest, ruggest Rome.
Did you just source the word Suge Knight speech, Paul Heyman?
Exactly.
like he's death row.
Exactly. Because Rome out here trying to get that money. Rome trying to get these chips.
Is Vince McMahon P. Diddy now?
Exactly. Get all involved in your matches and everything like that. Look, I love this match from the get-go. Like, first off, I love the fact that they just started off going, and then Braun hits him from behind. I'm like, oh shit, are these gonna keep wrestling? And then Rome's gonna show up and take the win? That's some heelish shit. Good job, big homie Rome. Good fucking job. And of course, they're just slapping the shit out of each other. They're getting tired as hell. At one point, Brace is tired from walking. I'm like, y'all need to wrap this shit up. Y'all too big to be doing all this walking right now. But then, of course, they get in the ring. They go for that final spot or whatever. Rome's music hits, which I will be real was disappointing.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
I was like, that fucking song should have changed. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to hear a new fucking theme song, and I was going to get gig. And then there was the old. I was like, gosh, damn it. And then came out with old ring gear where I was like, well, at least he's wearing a fucking t-shirt and not that fucking. So, I mean, we're making some kind of progress, I guess. I almost wonder if we're going to get on Friday a grand reintroduction from Paul Heyman to our new Universal Champion. And maybe that's when we get the new music. I hope so. Because they need to do it. Because they've been working for him now.
And there's no doubt this guy's a bad guy now, right? He did not come out for half the match. And then came out when these guys beat the crap out of each other and beat him up with a chair and tried to win it easily. In very Brock Lesnar fashion.
Yes. Exactly. And I love the fact that he came out with he comes up with the chair. I was like, oh, you're about to do some healing shit, of course. He gets in the ring, whatever, tries to get the pin, doesn't work, goes for it again, doesn't work. Then he starts just being a shit on with the chair. I love the fact that the Fiend goes for a mandible claw, and he doesn't fight his way out of it. He just kicks him in the balls. Just dude's just gone straight heel. This is amazing. There's no redemption from here whatsoever. Like they did with Undertaker, where it's oh, he's a heel now. Wait, no, he's not. And then again, he gets the 1, 2, 3, goes out. I'm like, fucking perfect. This is great.
Yeah, it was great.
The Fiend doesn't need the belt because I was watching and I was like, damn, the Fiend is fucking over. Bray Wyatt has been the main event of how many matches now? And the thing about it is that he's gotten his character over. He's there. This doesn't hurt him at all. And because again, the moment they said it was a 3-way, I was like, oh, they just got Braun here to take the pin.
And Bray's not a face of the company type of guy anyways.
Right.
Bray's the guy that wins the belt. Bray's the Mick Foley of this generation. Mankind never had long reigns. We love that Mankind was a champion, though.
Exactly. And on that, though, but like you said, Mankind's the one who told the most interesting stories.
Yeah.
If you with Edge and all these other random people in these hardcore matches, whatever, and that's what you want to see the Fiend do. You want him to go off somewhere and be an artist and go do some weird shit for a while.
Create with people that aren't creative.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. Plus, when he's involved with the belt, it low-key takes away from his character because too many other voices get involved.
And I'd rather him lose the belt like this than the way he lost to Goldberg.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Because again, him losing to Goldberg is just like fuck for real.
Like this was like he got screwed out of it weirdly. Where Goldberg was a clean loss, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a tarnish on his whole on the Fiend's like storytelling everything. But all in all, I liked it. And I like the fact he kept cutting Alexa Bliss and everything like that because that's again like you said, that's the Harley Quinn right there. And so we're going to see that develop further. And I'm hoping Nikki will get involved and everything like that. Like kind of my dream is that she'll go full Harley Quinn and Nikki will be able to try to go save her, and then they get the feud for a while, do some cool shit. And so again, all in all, there's some good storytelling happening right now at the top, and they just got to figure out a way just not to fuck it up.
And whoever pointed that out, that Braun thing, I did not know that. I forgot that Roman actually pinned Braun.
Yes, he did.
Also, that's also protecting the feed.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's what you got to do.
All right. Let's talk about the NXT Championship real quick. Karrion Kross was champion for like 4 days. Had to relinquish it because his shoulder is a lot worse than realized, and that is what affected his match with Keith Lee. And they announced that this coming Tuesday, on Super Tuesday, we're gonna have a four-way 60-minute Iron Man match between Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. Now, I guess my question is, who do you think is going to win this match? And then my second question is this the right way to do this? Because I'm almost you have the time, just do a tournament. I just do a single elimination tournament where one bracket is all former champions, and then the other one is like people who haven't gotten a shot.
I like this. I like it only because it's never been done before. 4 guys in an Iron Man match seems like an actual like point thing now. You know?
Yes, that is an interesting aspect to it. Chat saying Finn. Everybody's saying Finn.
Finn or Ciampa. I don't want to see Gargano's heel run has just this Gargano of 2020 has just been boring. I know he's the heart of NXT. I know he's great. He's tremendous in the ring. Whatever. It just nothing he's done has stuck with me. He's never been my choice of victory in any of the situations he's been in. I don't know. He's like maybe he needs to leave NXT. I don't know. Maybe he just needs to take some time off and come back. Because sometimes when people take time off and come back, it's great. Who's that person?
That could work.
Who's the other person?
Adam Cole.
He just had it. That's my only argument. He just had it, and he had it for a very long time.
And the other thing we've been talking about on this show a lot, and it rang true when Tommaso Ciampa made his return. Where are the good guys in NXT?
Yep. And low-key, that was about to be the thing I was going to say is like...
Well, they're all bad guys. All 4 of them are bad.
Yes.
Exactly. That was my question. Who's the face?
I never thought of that.
Exactly. There's no face. Who are you cheering for here?
That's what shows you that NXT's hardcore fans, because hardcore fans always cheer for the bad guys anyway.
They just cheer for whoever is, they deem good. Not that I'm saying I don't deem people good and cheer for them.
Yeah, because Ciampa came back as a bad guy now.
Oh no, but here's the thing, because I'm seeing people in chat saying Ciampa's a face, but he's not. He came back and he hurt somebody.
He just whooped the crap out of Jake Atlas.
Exactly. Yeah. And beat him off the stretcher and all kinds of shit. He was like, no. Since y'all know I'm an asshole. And then when they said that, they established that, I was like, so you're an asshole. Velveteen Dream is an asshole. I'm like, there's nobody right now who's a face in NXT. And so to be real, going into this, I just gotta be real. Like, I would like if Finn won it. But the thing about it is, I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't enjoyed the whole Prince run because they haven't really done anything with him. So I would love it, like, going to this like Iron Man match, everybody comes out, Ciampa, Gargano, Cole, and then Finn comes out, but Finn comes out as the fucking demon. And then all of a sudden he goes back to old Finn, and then we go from there, and then he gets the belt and kind of like goes back to himself. Because right now, this run he's having as a Prince, I'm being honest, I'm not really enjoying it because they're not telling any stories with it. He's having some cool matches with people, but I'm not really remember. There's no story being told yet.
Yeah, I think for me, with all 4 of these guys, and it's well documented that I have been a huge Johnny Gargano fan for like the longest time, like since he was in Evolve and Dragon Gate USA, and even when he was in Ohio. And I literally don't care who wins this match, and that's not great. No. I don't care at all.
I don't either. I had to go. I thought Ciampa because he never really lost the belt. He got injured. He had to go. He came back. He never really got a title shot again. So maybe Ciampa. And then I was also like Finn because why'd you bring him to NXT in the first place? Like he hasn't really done he's had good matches and stuff, but like nothing that's been like if he was supposed to go back to redeem himself, he hasn't really redeemed himself. And then the other thing is like it'd be kind of fitting because what happened to Karrion Kross is basically what happened to Finn Balor in 2016 when he won the Universal title.
Very true.
Separated his elbow and then shoulder, and then he had to relinquish it. And then when he came back, he never reached that level of popularity again.
Yeah.
And then
I'm like, it'd be cool.
What's that?
John, you see that comment in the chat by Derek Watson? The Demon Finn versus Karrion Kross would be a great match. It would
100%.
be.
It would be.
The princes are working. Bring back the Demon because the Demon is fucking cool. And again, he works better as a face too right now. Well, I take that back. Finn Balor's good at whatever he does. His heel run could have been epic. They're just not doing anything with it because you just have too many damn heels in NXT right now.
And I mean, he can still be the Prince. Prince Devitt is where he was doing the Demon thing when he was Prince Devitt out on the Independents. Anyways,
yes,
it's just bring the Demon back. Just bring the Demon back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just think it's like I saw this match. It was announced. I went, that's kind of interesting. And then I just didn't even really care who won. And that's not great.
To Johnny's point, too, though. We also in the no fans era. This could be taped. They could do a thing where he's Finn, goes under the ring, and comes out as the Demon. They can and just annihilates everybody.
Yeah.
Like, because we're in the no fan era, the creativity with this could be insane.
Yep. And to do the Demon and the no fans era, like you said, it could be fucking amazing. You have so much more potential things you can do with it. And then think about it, you can build the Demon up in NXT for about like a year, have him feud Cross, have him do all this shit, and then guess what? We finally get the match that we really want, maybe a year from now, is the Demon versus the Fiend.
Yeah. And the thing is, and because I always imagine that's how Finn's gonna come back to the main roster. The last match he had on the main roster was against the Fiend.
Yep.
He's got to come back as a Demon and face the Fiend. Like that's how he has to come back. There's no other way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So everybody seems pretty. Aaron's been on fire in the chat today. Aaron, welcome. I don't believe I have not you. Not Gargano. You.
That's right, Aaron. That's right. Trissy's assigned me now. I want that picture of him signing me, shaking hands. I'm like, yeah, I'm going for the belt.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. Thanks for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Justin, what do you got to plug, my dude?
Just follow me at TWC Worldwide. That's the main Instagram account now since the Wrestling Classic got taken down to 500,000 followers. If you guys have been looking for me, I'm at TWC Worldwide. Also, guys, you can check out the TWC show on Apple Podcast, Radio, Google Play, and all that. We do that every week. It drops on Fridays every week. TWC show. We talk about everything that happened throughout the week. You can catch me here on the hashtag Wrestling Show more often. And be sure to check out THS.wrestling, their Instagram page. I've been helping them out and trying to make sure it's flowing on a regular basis.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, and TWC Shop. I just want to plug TWC Shop because we're going to be putting collectibles on there soon. Action figures. We're going to start with wrestling figures, but I have connections where we could get a little crazy with action figures for superheroes and stuff and like that as well. But the Mr. T exclusive is coming on there. One of the Otises that were really hard to find is coming up on there. And nice. I think a Fiend figure is going up on there pretty soon. So keep your eyes up for twcshop.com.
Johnny, what do you got?
So again, as always, you can find my comics at Gumroad/JohnnyP313. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram there. You can also find me my sneaker collecting at Boop Johnny Dope Kicks. You can find me there. As I said at the beginning of the show, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace Black Panther. Wakanda forever. Spoke about that at the beginning. Thank you for all you've done. And then also just want to give a plug to up, down, because again, Prince Pretty won, left, right, 5 retains and everything like that. Props to him. He got a new belt on there. Shit was fucking amazing. And then we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but Fandango won the NXT championships. So that was also awesome as well.
Yes, exactly. That was great too. That was a lot of fun.
I was going crazy. So again, shout out to them. Again, there's some dope storylines being told, and looking forward to come back next week. As always, thank everybody for coming through and watching tonight.
Absolutely. We appreciate everybody watching us on Facebook, Twitch, and the YouTube. Aaron, he wants to form a tag team. You're going after those titles.
What's up? Let's get it.
For me, twitch.tv/that#. So if you're watching on Twitch right now, I stream Call of Duty Warzone it's going out of business. I'm also going to start streaming wrestling on there. I've been doing some research, and a lot of people are just streaming wrestling and doing commentary over it. So I have a back catalog of Japanese wrestling I need to get through, and I'm going to start doing that soon. I'm going to do it, but I feel like I need to find a good time to do it because 11:30 at night isn't great.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Retribution.
Retribution didn't show up tonight.
Thankfully.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yo, John, if you do that New Japan Pro Wrestling that we both went to in Long Beach, hit me up. I'll be down to do that with you.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Best of the Super Junior show.
That was fucking awesome. That was
a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of what else. Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, YouTube.com/that#show TV. Derek, we tried to watch Impact Wrestling. I tried real hard, dude, but Wrestle House is not good.
I can't do the no fans thing. Like, they have 0 fans, and it's just hard.
I did try to get into it, Derek. Again, Derek, for you, I'll try again. I'll watch this week and get back to me. I'll watch it. That's my promise I can make to you. But most importantly, guys, that #show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you guys next week.